Hello students, this is the first lesson on your syllabus, that is NIOS 11th class mathematics. I am starting with the first lesson. My name is SN Bhatt. I am a maths teacher for the last 35 years and I have been teaching mathematics for different levels of students, right from high school level to college level. I have taught in CBSE, I have taught in Karnataka state syllabus PUC. Now I am actually starting a complete lesson on NIOS mathematics syllabus for 11th standard and 12th standard. First chapter is sets. Let me tell you first what is my approach. All the lessons will be divided into two parts. One is called main lesson, ML, I call it as ML, and I give the name 1, 2, 3 in order. And there is another set of lessons, SL, that is supplementary lesson. Here also it is 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. In the main lesson, what I do is, I will be taking the all the concepts which are discussed in your textbook with sufficient number of relevant examples. So first you must follow this lesson so that you will be able to understand the concepts given in the textbook. Then whatever exercise problems I will be taking in the supplementary lessons, there we will be discussing the questions given in the textbook. So if you follow all the lessons properly, definitely I am sure you will be able to understand mathematics in a very simple way. And I am trying to present before you the mathematics in the most simple manner so that you will be able to understand and follow mathematics without much difficulty. This is my belief. Let us go together. Before I start, let me tell you one thing. Please subscribe my channel, that is SNB Maths Class. I will be uploading the lessons regularly. And please share this with your friends who are preparing for this NIOS mathematics subject. And this will be a regular program. I will be completing the entire syllabus. So this is a information. Now let me begin the lesson. Sets is the first chapter. First you have to understand what is the meaning of well-defined collection. Well-defined. So this is the first thing you have to. Set is actually called collection of well-defined objects. That's the meaning of set. But let me give you same example which is given in your textbook. Say for example, you can make two category like this, two columns like this. First one is collection of tall students. So I am just writing here tall students. This is one. So here collection of students whose height is more than 180 centimeter. 180 centimeter. So this is one example. Let me give one more example. Honest persons. Collection of honest people or persons. Second example here, same. Or not, no, collection of people, persons who are not involved in theft case. Involved in theft case. I am giving the same example which is given in our textbook so that it is easier to understand. Then say third one, interesting books. Collection of interesting books. And here maths books, collection of three. Say collection of maths books. So this three examples sufficient. See, if you look at this, let us say this is column A, this is column B. If you say tall student, this is not well defined. According to mathematics concept, this is not well defined because you don't know which student you have to include under this and which student you have to exclude. But when I say whose height is more than 180, it is definite because either the student will be in one collection or he will not be in the collection. So it is definite. Similarly, honest person means we cannot define mathematically what is honest person. But if I say, suppose in your village or in your town, suppose the question is set of all people who are not involved in theft case, definitely you can identify who are involved and who are not involved. So this is well defined. Similarly here, interesting books means, see, a book which is interesting to one person may not be interesting to another person. So you cannot have the collection in a clear way, precise manner. But here if I say collection of mathematics books, suppose a set of books are given to you, you can definitely select those books which are mathematics, and which are not mathematics you can reject. So definitely can form a collection. So collection, when it is well defined, that is called set. Therefore here afterwards what you have to understand is, the meaning of set is, it is the collection of objects, no doubt it is the collection of objects only, but it is well defined. That means given an object, you must be able to say whether that object belongs to the collection or the object does not belong to it, because there are only two possibilities. Given one object, either it should be in the given collection, required collection, or it should not be. Say for example, say collection of flowers, if you say, then you cannot include fruits. Collection of fruits, then you cannot include flower, because there cannot be an object which is both fruit and flower. Therefore this is the idea. Therefore you can say well defined collection of objects is called set. So this is the meaning of set. Now, in set theory in mathematics, we have certain conventions, certain procedure of writing. For example, any set A is represented by capital letter A. For example, here afterwards I can write set of say students of your college. Say your college. So this is the way we write. This is one method. Similarly, we say I can also write, say B equal to, say I can write like this, A, E, I, O, U. You know that A, E, I, O, U, this is the set of vowels of English alphabet. So this is the method. So either you can write like this in sentence, or you can write like this. Now the procedure is, whenever you write like this, a flower bracket is used like this. That means you have to start with a flower bracket, then write the objects here. So A, E, but you have to separate them by comma, then you have to complete the bracket. This is the procedure, and comma should be there only up to this one. So this is one important thing which you have to understand. Left side, the name of this set is B, so it should be written by uppercase letter. So B, A, anything you can write. Here of course there is no condition. Suppose it is set of uppercase letter, even you can write capital AB also. So, and objects you are writing here. This is one thing you have to understand. Then there are terms, symbols and terms which we use, that you have to understand. One is, all the objects here, they are either called objects, this is one name we use, or we call element. We can also use element, or we can use member. All these things are same meaning. So you can say A is an object of B, set B, A is an element of set B, or A is a member of set B, all one and the same. Then we use certain symbols. For example, you see A is a member, we write like this, A, then we write this symbol, this is called epsilon in Greek, it is a symbol, letter actually. We write like this, A, how you have to read this one? A belongs to the set B. So this is what, or you can also write A is a member of B, or A is an object of B. Anything you can say, but normally we say A belongs to B, but we don't write like this. We use this symbol. This is another important thing you have to remember. Then similarly, suppose an element is not found here, so that we should use. For example, you see here, B is not there. A, E, I, O, U. B is not an element here. So we use the symbol like this. B does not. This means does not belong to B. So this is the convention. Therefore, let me sum up here. Any set can be represented by uppercase letter or capital letter, number one. Second, if you can also use the sentence like this. This is one procedure. Or you can use flower bracket, then write the elements here, then separate them by comma. But last letter, of course, there is no comma. And symbol A belongs to B. B does not belong to P. These are the examples. Let me give a few examples. Say, I can write like this. A equal to, say, for example, you know a set of natural numbers actually. Say it starts from 1, say 1, 2, 3, 4, say 5. That means I am taking the first 5 natural numbers. So we can write like this. Then I can write, say 2 belongs to A, then 3 belongs to A, etc. Suppose you take 6, then 6 does not belong to A. So this is the basic idea you should understand for sets. Then how to represent a set, that is the next concept. So I have completed the definition now, and then the convention of writing the set, then method of writing set. So method of writing a set, method of writing set. So actually there are two methods. One is called roster method. Another one is called set builder method. And this is also called tabular method. This is also called rule method. They are identical. So let us remember roster method and set builder method. Now what is the difference and how you have to understand this? Roster method means, say for example you take a set of vowels of English alphabet. So this is given in words. Suppose I write now A equal to the actual elements A, E, I, O, U. This is called roster method. Roster method means whenever you represent the set using writing the actual elements like this, that is called roster method. Say for example, if I take A equal to set of first 3 natural numbers. So this is given in words. So if I want to use this roster method, then I should write like this: 1, then 2, then 3. Suppose a set of days in a week, then you can write, say for example W you can write, then equality, flower bracket, then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It need not mean only elements means 1, 2, 3 or only one letter like that. It can be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like that. Or set of months in a year, January, February, March, April, like that you can write up to 12th. So meaning is roster method means you should actually write the elements or members of the set. So that is roster. Now what is set builder method? So set builder method means, let me explain with the example so that it is more convenient. Let us take for example A equal to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is definitely roster because I have written the actual element. Now if you write the same set using a common rule means that rule is applicable to all these 5 elements only. That is called set builder method. For example, and remember set builder method is not unique. That is, see, we can write it in different ways. That is one important thing. So I can write like this: A equal to, this is the procedure, x such that, I have to write like this is a symbol, x such that x is a natural number. See, if I write like this, x is a natural number, then x is less than or equal to 5. See, this is one method. This means what? X, set of all x such that x is a natural number. Natural number means what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, anything. But there is a condition. It should be less than or equal to 5. So this is the condition. Similarly, see, I can also write like this: x such that x is natural number less than or equal to 5. This also I can write. Natural number less than or equal to 5 means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can write like this or I can write like this. So even I can write, for example, x such that x is a natural number. If I write like this, x is a natural number, then I can also write 1 less than x less than 5. See, therefore, one problem with set builder form is, suppose 3 students are asked the same question, they can give different answer. But condition is, whenever you write this back in this method, you should get the same set. Rule should not change. That is why set builder means taking the common rule which characterize that particular set, that we have to take. Then we have to write. So this is roster method. So now let me give a few examples, simple examples of roster method. Then we shall proceed. Say for example, first one, let us say set of first 5 even natural numbers. So this is that I want to write. How to write this in roster form? So now I can write like this: a equal to, what do you mean by set of 5 even natural numbers? It should be a natural number first of all. Second, it should be even. Therefore, I can write this as 2 is the first even natural number, then 4, then 6, then 8, then 10. So this is roster method. Now the same thing you can also write in set builder form like this. A should be A only because set we are not changing, therefore you have to use the same symbol. So we have to write like this: x such that x equal to, see, you can also write like this: s equal to 2n. See, this is how we can write. Then n equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can understand, you have to understand like this. See, when x equal to 1, 2 into 1, it is 2. When x equal to 2, 2 into 2, it is 4. X equal to 3, 6. X equal to 4, 8. X equal to 5. So this is one method. I can also write like this. See, that's why I told you. See, different students can write in different way, but it should, when you expand this one, you should get the same thing. That is important. I can write simply like this: 2n such that n equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is also correct. So instead of using x, I am writing directly to n. For example, n equal to 1, you get 2. N equal to 2, 4. You will get the same thing. So this is the representation of set using two methods. Let us discuss a few questions later because idea is very clear now. Now, let me take one more example here and then we will go to the next one. Say for example, I am having a set, say B, having a set B. See, this is the set. Say x, it is given in a set builder form, x such that x square minus 4 equal to 0, x belonging to z. Z means integers. So now this is given in roster form because rule method, set builder form using a rule. Now I have to convert this into roster. Both are possible. So what I have to do is, first you have to consider this: x square minus 4 equal to 0 means x square will be equal to 4. So x will be equal to plus or minus 2. Because when you put 2, it is 4, minus 2 also it is 4. So plus or minus 2. But condition is x should be z. So 2 is also integer, minus 2 is also integer. Therefore, when you write the same set in roster form, you have to write minus 2. So this is the procedure. So let me stop here for the concept of roster method and rule method. As I told you, let us take the examples later. Now let me proceed further. Say different types of sets are there. Different types of sets are there. We have to understand different types of sets. One is finite set. Finite set. Finite. Another one is infinite set. Infinite set. So what is the difference? What is the meaning of finite set? In the word itself, it is clear. Finite set means a set which contains finite number of elements. For example, if you take A equal to say set of months in a year, so it starts from January, etc. Then it ends with December. So finite number of elements. Suppose I take B equal to say 1, 2, 3, 4. Finite. So this type of sets are called finite sets, meaning if the set contains finite number of elements, it is finite. What do you mean by infinite set? Actually, we have seen lot of infinite sets in school also. For example, you take n. I have already used this one. N means set of naturals. What do you mean by set of naturals? 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. So this is infinite because it is never ending. So it is infinite. Similarly, I can also take W. What do you mean by W? Set of whole numbers. It starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. This is whole number. We can also take negative numbers, integers, like -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. So this is integers. Like this we can go. And any number of examples can be given for finite as well as infinite set. For example, I can say another very common example given for infinite set is you take a line like this. You have seen this one, number line, we call it as number line. The set of all points on this number line is infinite. It is infinite. So like that, say for example, set of all points on this blackboard, this board, this is infinite. Like that, any number of examples can be given for infinite set and finite set. So this is one class of sets. So first one. Second one is empty set. This is one. Second one is empty set. Empty set. What do you mean by empty set? That means a set which does not contain any element. Which does not contain any element. That is called empty set. What example you can give? For example, I can give set of integers between 2 and 3. Can you find any integer between 2 and 3? Not possible. So this is empty. But there is a symbol for empty set. Either you should use this symbol. That means 2 flower brackets you have to use like this, but don't write anything here. This is one allowed say symbol. Or you can also use, this is called pi actually, Greek letter. We can use this. But sometimes students make a mistake. They write this inside this one, that is wrong. Either use this one or this. And empty set is also called null set or void set. So you can give any number of examples. For example, you see set of odd integers divisible by 2. So is there any odd integer which is divisible by 2? Not possible. So any number of examples you can give. So that is empty set. Then the next one is singleton set. So the third one is singleton set. So singleton set means a set which contains only one element. For example, I can say even prime numbers, set of course, set of. See, 2 is the only even prime number. Therefore, I can write this 2. So no other prime number is even, but 2 is even, and it is prime number also. So this. Similarly, see, if you take set of the president of India, how many presidents can be there? Only one. Or set of present chief ministers of Karnataka, if you say, there is only one chief minister. Like that, you should select an example where there will be only one element. Element means even members, people also. See, in set, when you say set of presidents, president is an element here. That is the understanding you have to have here. So this is singleton set. Then the next one is equal set. Fourth one, equal and equivalent. So you should know the difference between the equal and equivalent sets. So what do you mean by equal sets? Suppose you take A equal to say 1, 2, 3. and B equal to say 2, 1, 3. And in set, order of occurrence is not important. You can write in any order. It is no rule that, there is no rule that 1, 2, 3 should be written. You can write 2, 1, 3 also, or even 3, 2, 1 also. So order is not important. Just listing is important, that's all. These two sets are equal because all the elements of here are here and all the elements of here are here. So that means if two sets contain same element, they are called equal, and we write A equal to B, A equal to B. So equal sets. For example, I can take A equal to A, E, I, O, U. Suppose I write the same set as set of English vowels. Suppose the second one, both are equal. So that is the way. It is very simple. Two sets must have same elements. That's all. Same elements. That is called equal. What do you mean by equivalent? So that you have to see the difference. Equivalent means, you see, let me first give the example. Let us take A equal to say 1, 2, 3, 4. Suppose you take B equal to say A, B, C, D. Now here there are 4 elements. Here also there are 4 elements only. They are called equivalent sets. Equivalent sets means the number of elements must be same. Number should be same, not the same element. So here we use the symbol. For example, if it is A and B, A is equivalent to B. Different texts use different, only like this they use, or this one. It is not approximately, it is equivalent. Equivalent sets. So this is the meaning of equivalent. Then the last one is, in your textbook what is given is disjoint sets. So this is the last one, fifth one. So disjoint sets. Meaning, let me first explain, then let me define. You take a set A, let us say 1, 2, 3. B, suppose we take 3, 4, 5. Suppose you take C, 6, 7, 8. Now if you closely observe, even you can take more also, 8, 9 also. You may think that I should take, why I have taken only 3. Any number, no problem. These two sets, if you closely observe, 3 is an element here and it is an element here. So they are not disjoint. Now if you take this set and this set, you see, here 1, 2, 3 is there, whereas here 6, 7, 8. Whatever element is here is not here. Whatever element is here is not here. Such sets are called disjoint. Disjoint means two sets are disjoint if they don't have common elements. So no common element. And if you take these two now, they are disjoint because you see 3, 4, 5, whereas here 6, 7, 8. These two are also disjoint. These two are also disjoint. But these two are not disjoint because 3 is common. So that is the meaning of disjoint sets. Say for example, I can say x equal to 2, 4, 6, 8 and y equal to 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So definitely these two are disjoint because this contains only even numbers. This contains only odd numbers. No elements are common. So it is disjoint set. So these are the concepts which you have to understand in the beginning. So let me conclude what I have done today because this is the first lesson. See, we have defined what the set is. Set is a collection of well-defined, this is very important, well-defined objects. So this is that means there should not be any ambiguity, confusion. Either the element should be in the set or it should not be in the set. So that is the first thing. Then we have also studied the symbols, conventions of writing set. So for example, this symbol and this symbol, and then flower bracket, etc. Then we have studied two methods. One is roster, another one is set builder. So this is the method. And the last one is types of sets. So we have studied finite, infinite, then empty, singleton set, then equivalent, equivalent, and then disjoint sets. So these are the different categories. In the next class, let us continue with some more types. But before that, I will take one. This is main lesson. Please note, it is ML. In my video also, I will upload, whenever I upload, ML means main lesson, SL means supplementary lesson. So first you have to understand the main lesson, then you go to supplementary lesson. So once again, please subscribe my channel so that you will be able to follow the lessons in a continuous way. Second one is I will be putting all the lessons in a playlist chapter wise, so that you can go through all the lessons. There is no question of searching. All the lessons will be put in playlist with a common name. So follow all the lessons. Hope you like this video and share with your friends. Let us meet in the next class. Till then, bye. Take care.